Alright, so this is contest entry for AG Surfer. This took forever. Sorry, bud. He wanted to see 7 of your favorite heroes. I think I hit the mark on some of those, but a lot of them were just like books I was really in, or I am really into. This isn't one of them. I came across this. I was looking for... I mentioned this in my last video, and I found it. And while I was looking for it, I came across this. Gore Vidal showed some Halo Jones off in his last video, so okay, that's all that is. And it's a backdrop, so alright, cool. I said so like 9 times already, so okay. Let's get to this. It was weird, because I'm compiling a list, and there's a couple things that are like, well, clearly that's going to make the cut, and then I kind of hit a snag there for a little bit. I think I was one short. Excuse me. And then it just like clicked. It was like, well, duh, that's it. So, okay. Let's just start. This is the second print of Dark Horse Presents #1, which is the first appearance of Concrete. One of my favorites. Always has been one of my favorites. Probably will always be one of my favorites. This book is beautiful and tragic and moving. And it's everything that good fiction should be, comics or otherwise. I mean, this is kind of one of those books, I think, that if... It's a shame it's not more popular than it is. I mean, this is a treasure, in my opinion. Okay. So check it out if you haven't. I've made videos about Concrete, and I think I did a chat with Scott X about Concrete. Concrete's great. Highly recommend Concrete. Next up we have Madman. This is his first appearance. This is Creatures of the Id #1 from Caliber Press. I know he didn't want to see first appearances, but whatever. This is probably my favorite Madman cover, though. This is from Tundra. This is book 3 of 3 from the first series. I think this is the first series. I can't remember. But it's kind of cool because, like it says right here on the corner, if you flip through the book, the corners make like this little like animated cartoon thing. It's kind of cool. Next up, well, they're kind of heroes. But as far as like books that have, you know, made an indelible impression, this would be one of them. We 3. I love this book. I can't recommend this book enough. It's not exactly the easiest read. I'm trying to get rid of this glare. Okay. I think I figured it out. Cool. Up next, we have the X-Men. Particularly this era of X-Men. And this is my reader copy. I got a bunch of doubles if anybody's looking for some X-Men from the late 80s to like 2010s. Shoot me a message or whatever, get a hold of me, and we might be able to work out something. And I'm not emotionally invested in this, or in my doubles of the X-Men, so, I mean, like, really. I probably got it, and, you know, let's do something. Like, just send me your address, and I'll send you some books. Alrighty. Animal Man. The Grant Morrison stuff, in particular, was great. This is the issue where Animal Man meets Grant Morrison, which was a lot of fun. So that's what, 1, 2, 3. Up next, we have The Watchmen. I'm surprised I don't see this mentioned in more people's videos as far as their favorites. I've owned, I think, 14 or 15 copies of this trade, and I'll find somebody who's into comics and hasn't read The Watchmen, and I'll just give them my trade, and then I'll just go buy another one. No big deal. I have a couple single issues of the series. There's a shop in town that has them all, but everything in the shop is overpriced. It's ridiculous. I was in there, I think, last week. Yeah, it was last week. And just looking, you have like a $40 book, and they're wanting like $120, $110. And I'm like, okay, you're crazy. That's totally not going to happen. But yeah, Watchmen. It's great. This is, I think, just as influential a book as far as like just, not just the narrative, but what it did to comics, I think, is how it changed everything. This was the start of the grim and the gritty. This was the moment where we got away from like the telepathic gorillas and the purple aliens, and you know, it all kind of set the tone for what comics are currently. I think in the future when they look back and they're like, well, when did the whatever era or age of, what we're going to move after we stop calling stuff current, or what is it, atomic age. This will be one of those books that's like, this was the start of that, I think. This is my opinion. I love this book. I love this book. Love this book, love this book, love this book. And hands down, one of my favorites. Let's move this back a little bit. Get all of this in there. This is martial law. There we go. And I've done a couple videos about martial law. Pat Mills, Kevin O'Neill, great stuff. When I got back into comics, well, I was always into, yeah, I left for a little bit, and when I came back, this is what got me back into comics. It was like I walked in the shop, and I couldn't for the life remember the name martial law, but I remember what the guy looked like and everything else, and the guy at the shop was like, oh yeah, it's martial law. I'm like, oh, okay, it's martial law. And Preacher. Bam. Love that cover. It's not a single. I have all the singles in my boxes, stacked over there, behind the couch, in the lamp, in the end table. Huge pain in the ass. I need to fix my organization. Or I need to make my collection more accessible. It's kind of, I don't like the way it is now, but it is what it is. I don't have a lot of space. It's what, 10, 15, 30 long boxes, plus some short boxes. It's what my lady calls the car parked in the house. Cool beans. And while I was digging, I came across a couple honorable mentions. Bone is great. Anyone who hasn't read Bone, I highly recommend it. And this book was a gift, which makes it that much cooler. And it's all of it. I read this, I think, in like 2 days, and it completely blew me away. I know Howler Mouse is a big fan of Bone, as I think everybody should be. Let's get rid of some of this stuff out of the way. Okie dokie. Welcome back, Halo Jones. And he wanted to see some movies. Cool. Well, oh yeah, another honorable mention. I was going to go with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but like I said, I didn't want to dig and find them. But I have these. These are the Nemo. This is the Nemo trilogy. Hardcover. They're a little bit smaller. Like this is a normal sized book, so it's not like oversized or anything. But yeah, we have Heart of Ice, which was great. Roses of Berlin, which is probably my favorite. And I like the way he takes like literary and film characters and kind of puts a little spin on them. There was a lot from The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari in this, which is one of my favorite movies. And Metropolis, which is also another one of my favorite movies. And then the last in the trilogy, the Nemo River of Ghosts. I picked this up a couple weeks ago. No, this was Christmas. That was still a couple weeks ago. And I had to do a little digging to find out who one of these characters was, but it was the prototype for Superman, which I thought was, or not the prototype, but it's like the character that influenced Superman, this guy right here. Kind of cool. Interesting. Good book. Highly recommend it. Kevin O'Neill art. Also, Kevin O'Neill art. Pat Mills. They did Nemesis the Warlock too, which is worth picking up if you can find it. Put these right here so we can see these. Movies. I love me some movies. Start with this. No Country for Old Men. Great movie. Great book. A little different. I love the Coen brothers. You never really know what you're going to get with them, but it's always good. Good stuff. Another one of my favorites. Children of Men. Clive Owen totally rocked it in this. Julianne Moore was great too. They were all great. Michael Caine. Good movie. There's a one-shot scene in this movie. It's like a chase scene. They're running through this bombed out city kind of thing, getting chased by the army and some tanks. It's like 14 minutes long. It's amazing. Life of Pi. Another awesome film. Ang Lee. I've been a fan of his for years. I mean, since like the 90s. I had an opportunity to meet him way back when he came into town and did like a... They were doing, what was it? Ride with the Devil. They filmed that here in KC. And they did like this little symposium thing with Ang Lee and the producer. It was like a Q&A thing for a couple of days. It was pretty cool. This is Moon. For the life of me, I can't remember who directed this movie. He's done a couple movies. Duncan Jones directed this movie. But Moon, we rented it just because I was in this like huge Sam Rockwell kick for a little bit. This is about a guy that is on the moon mining helium-3. And then he comes across like a rover, kind of like the one he's using, and there's a body in it, and that body's him. So it's like this guy on the moon finds himself like literally. That's about all I'm going to say. Find this movie. This movie will blow you away. And last but not least, hands down, my favorite movie ever. Best movie ever made, in my opinion. Ran by Kurosawa, who did Seven Samurais, The Hidden Kingdom. Great stuff. He did a bunch of really great like film noir detective stuff too. What was that movie? He did one, and it had, of all people, Richard Gere in it. I think it was like his last one in the late 80s, I think. And it was about the way Hiroshima and Nagasaki affected the psyche of some people in Japan. It was kind of like reflecting and dealing with travesty kind of movie. It was very moving, and it was weird because it had Richard Gere in it. But anyway, AG Surfer, you're awesome. You're a friend of mine. Cool. I hope you liked it. Okay. Thanks. Bye.